Hello, people, and welcome to another episode of the Out of Bounds podcast. We are back with the regular crew. We've got Kojo and Abbas. How we doing?
I'm not too
I'm
bad.
good, man.
You can see, obviously, as we're recording this, Senegal and Ivory Coast are currently playing. I think it's about to go into extra time, I believe. But one thing I do know for certain is Ghana are still not in the competition. So, with that being said, big news coming out of football. Jurgen Klopp has decided that he's going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season, and it's raised a lot of conversation about the legacy he's left behind and what he means to Liverpool and the Premier League. So, with that being said, what do you guys think of his decision to leave Liverpool at the end of the season?
I'm actually go for
Cool. So, do you know what? It comes as a bit of a surprise for me this time. If he had said it last year, I kind of would have got it. But this year, if you look at the team he's got, he's semi-rebuilt it. And, like, certain players are developing more, like in Darwin Núñez. Mo Salah's now become more creative rather than just being that goal scorer type of role that he used to have before. I'm not saying he wasn't creative, but he's excelled onto that. So I guess the timing kind of became surprising. But also, if you really deeply, he's been in that job for a very long time. Now, in terms of his legacy, this is where it gets a bit controversial because people hate me for saying this. But if you really deep it, he's won the same amount of trophies as Chelsea have won since he's been in that time. The only legacy he has is he has the greatest finish ever with a second place team. So he's made Liverpool officially the greatest second place team in the history of the Premier League in terms of points generated and the finish being behind Man City. So for me, it's a bit of a controversial one, but his legacy is probably a lot more tied with Liverpool fans than it is generically. Because generically, it's a bit overrated because, like I said, Chelsea, with the flip and flapping with players and managers, generated the same amount of trophies or similar-ish than what Klopp did during his time frame. Like, it's an exceptional legacy, but again, he's remembered for being the best second-place team for me over Manchester City.
So just ask you a question back off that. So do you think he's overachieved, underachieved, or do you feel like he's achieved what he was put there to achieve?
He's relatively well achieved for what he's able to do. Like, he has spent money. Let's not pretend like he's not spent money. The players that he spent the big money on have impacted in the way big money signings are meant to do, being Van Dijk and Alisson, just from the top of my head. Then on top of that, yes, you can look at someone like Mo Salah that he paid a small amount of money for, but then obviously the player he's become type of thing. But overall, I'd say he's relatively achieved what he was set out to do. Like, if you're at a club for the 8-9 years he's been at Liverpool for, and then at the end of the day, he hadn't won a big value trophy, you just look to say that, okay, what have you done? Have you just been a nice guy in Liverpool and brought the community together and got that feel-good factor back in? But yeah, because if Liverpool fans want to portray this still a big club, whatever, etc., then eventually your time was going to come where you were going to win a Premier League title. Your time was going to come where you revisit Champions League glory. And under Klopp, like for me, it probably goes down in terms of the modern era as the greatest manager they'll ever get, regardless of who comes after them in the next year, next time, and the term after. But overall, I think he's relatively achieved well to what the resources were given out to him.
So obviously, I'll let Kojo go answer this, but I think what I would disagree with you a bit in terms of the way I look at Jurgen Klopp, and I do think history will not be kind to him because ultimately it goes down to winning trophies. And as you said, that he's won the same amount as Chelsea have won since he's been at the club. But then, as I've been there to experience also seasons, in my opinion, you can argue he's accomplished more just in terms of making Liverpool competitive. Because obviously Chelsea have won the Champions League and we've won the Premier League and won FA Cup and all these kind of stuff. But there's something being said for continuously being competitive. And obviously, when you look at the squad that he took over, I think Liverpool became a club that they were just a big club by reputation because they haven't won the Premier League. Like, they haven't won the league title in like 30 odd years, and they didn't win the Champions League before he won it since 2005. And I can't remember when their last League Cup was it like 2012?
2012.
2000, yeah. So And you look at the squad that he took over, the ones with like, I think it was Alan Benteke and all them man there, and Daniel Sturridge. Like Daniel Sturridge is on Sky Sports right now, and those were the players that he
Yeah, but
took over. I think,
Daniel Sturridge
obviously,
wasn't
so again,
Daniel Sturridge was in a team that should have had Liverpool's first Premier League medal.
well, yeah, but they didn't because Gerrard slipped.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but Sturridge was a good striker. Like he wasn't.
no, I'm not saying he's a bad. I'm not saying he's a bad striker, but I'm saying is that I'm just saying I just remember like the players that he was taking over, like that was a team that was finishing 7th, and he came in and before because his 2 big money signings that took them right to the very top, to make them competitive were Van Dijk and Alisson, if I'm correct. But before then, he was on like 30 millions on. He was spending 30 millions on Sadio Mane, 30 millions on. I think Mane was really seen as a good player. Salah was seen as a good player, but not seen as world class player. He made Jordan Henderson a respectable player and like captain because I know the conversation. Obviously, the conversation around Jordan Henderson is funny now, but I also knew what the kind of conversation around Jordan Henderson was then before he was made captain, and being able to make it the Champions League final before he even signed Alisson and bring Van Dijk halfway through. So that's why I said, although he's accomplished same amount as Chelsea, I don't think he's done in the same way. And I just said the second place team thing, if you were to remove Pep of the thing, even though you can't because it's just hypothetically speaking, you can then say Liverpool have so many titles. Chelsea don't even come close in some of them. So, and I think he restored a feel-good factor back into the thing. And as I said, winning that Premier League, I know everyone likes to joke about it and say the COVID League and all that kind of stuff, but in my opinion, I think COVID stops Liverpool for having an even more historic season. So that is just my.
I'm just going to go back on what you said. At the end of the day, one of the points you made was a hypothetical thing. If you take out City, but
no, not hypothetical. I said there's something being said for being competitive year in, year out.
That's my point. That's why I give Klopp one of the best praises, and people take it as a dig. And I say he's made Liverpool the second greatest Premier League team of all time because, in terms of finishers, because they generated that many amount of points to only finish second. That level of consistency to compete against a 100-point Centurion team, but only finish second, shows how impressive Liverpool were. Like, it's an impressive feat to do. Nobody else was competing against them. They have the most points ever to finish second, and that. Okay, you don't celebrate because you don't win anything with it. But like I said, in the grand scheme, in terms of consistency, it still looks good. And that's what Klopp was a very top-tier, consistent manager. Unfortunately, there was just a manager better than him in Pep Guardiola at the time, and he was unlucky with that. But I also believe at the same time, if Pep wasn't at Man City and there was another manager, we wouldn't have this high level of competition. And I think you probably see the league title flip and flap more than just Liverpool winning it outright.
Yeah.
I've heard all your points. Yeah, I don't really disagree with both points you guys made. With Klopp, for me, I think he's had a great tenure at Liverpool. Obviously, in the 9 years he's been at the club, I think he's done great things. Obviously, when he took over Liverpool were ninth. It was a season when Leicester won the Premier League, I remember, 15-16. He took over, I think, November time. Liverpool were ninth. They won Europa League, got them to Europa League final. I think they finished that season in 7th place. So obviously, not a great finish from their standards, but their team was not great. The following season, they got into the top 4. Obviously, Sadio and Mane got into the top 4 the following season. Salah, they finished, I think, 3rd that season, if I'm correct, when the year that City won the league. They finished 3rd because obviously United finished 2nd. And obviously, 18-19, 19-20 is when that Liverpool team became a super team and, played great football and became a phenomenal side. What I bashed in terms of, like, if you look at his run and you obviously you say that it's very reminiscent of Chelsea's run over the last couple of years, like, in terms of trophy, collection and whatnot. But I feel like, obviously, come back to what, Richard has said, he's gone up against a very, very tough team of Manchester City, which has negated them from winning more Premier League titles. And, let's be real here. The 2 times that City were second, they lost by a single point. And it only lost once that season as well.
I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm giving excellent praise for being the greatest second place team in Premier League history. That is my tenure from Klopp. Is that as much as he's winning, he officially has the greatest second place team in Premier League history, and there is absolutely that.
Yeah,
Obviously the worst team in Premier League history because of the points tally. Same with Liverpool being second. Same with Man City potentially can be first. The only reason City's conversation is different is due to the fact that everyone can win a league title, and therefore you can have conversation about them. But Liverpool accumulated X amount of points comparative to everybody else finished second.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you raise that point, what is your reason behind it? What are you trying to kind of like? What are you trying to like build the narrative?
Saying that.
What you build like? What are you?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, look, if you have a manager done exceptionally well, finishes second, it's not a bad thing. It's just that, and then I'm giving you even more praise, saying that you are the best team ever in that position. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying factually, statistically, everything is there to say whatever points you accumulated that 1 year when I think City got 100, you finished second behind them.
No, they finished third. That season there, it was United.
Or whenever it was that big
I think it was fourth because I remember I think it was fourth. I think Tottenham finished.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So
Whatever year it was, whatever year it was, you got them points. That's the highest points ever to finish second, and then otherwise you would have won the league title, like you guys keep telling me and stuff. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying about it. I'm just saying that's one of the things that he should actually be embraced for. But at the same time, he's a very good, consistent manager. Yeah. But let's not also pretend Klopp did not like to cry and complain as well. And he had
obviously, he was a bit of a guy that's complain, a bit ungrateful for certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about his record over the Premier League. I rate Klopp. I like the style of football. He implemented Liverpool. I admire his football ethos. I think he's a great character, great personality. He's a very humble man. He's funny, charismatic.
Definitely not humble.
No, I mean he is, man. He's humble guy. I watched a lot of his interviews. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy, good guy.
Aggressive.
You know what I'm saying? So
I can't like he's gone anyways.
What you say?
I'm happy he's gone anyways. I think it was about that time.
For me, I don't really care for Liverpool like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like their fans too tough, like the ones from London, anyways. But I like Jurgen Klopp, and I like the football that Liverpool played during his time at Liverpool. I thought it was a very exciting brand of football. It was very competitive. It was a high-octane football. Obviously, they won a lot of trophies, so I will always respect Klopp, but he's not Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? And when the news broke out, I was very surprised because I was a bit confused. I thought, you know what, Liverpool having a good season so far. You know what I'm saying? They're competing for the league. The players are playing well. Nunez, Jota are playing very, very good. Diaz is also playing very, very well. Especially, what's happened to the last few months with his daddy and that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's balling as well. Salah was obviously having a great season. Obviously, he's injured right now, but he's been having a great season. So obviously, I was very, very kind of just surprised to hear this news. But and it makes sense. You've been there for almost 10 years. You've won the Premier League. You've won everything. You won the Global Cup, Super Cup, Champions League, almost Europa League. You won the Premier League. You won the Carabao Cup. You won the FA Cup. You complete the whole set really at Liverpool. You've been there for almost 10 years, and sometimes it's very draining. It's very tiring. Mentally, you can't do it. It's a very big task. Liverpool are a very big club in the Premier League. It's a very tough to keep going again and again. And maybe, he says he's exhausted, he's tired. So if that's the case, then it is what it is. I wish him the best. Hopefully this season, Liverpool can do wonders, whether it's winning the Europa League, whether it's winning the FA Cup, whether it's winning the Carabao Cup, whether it's maybe winning the Premier League. I hope that he can at least win a trophy and go on the high. For me, I'll say this.
Wait. So, do you hope that you win the Carabao Cup?
Look, no.
He's not Chelsea. He's Chelsea already.
Do you hope?
No. Richard,
we're not landing. We're going on to the next question.
Don't get involved in this. Abbas,
no. Don't let you have your.
Because you what I'm saying. Stop trying to misconstrue what I'm saying. Let me land.
Are Chelsea in the FA Cup? Chelsea still in the FA Cup? Yes. Did you say you hope?
Let me land. Hold on. Yes, Chelsea and Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I hear that. Let me land. And Richard, when you put this on me when you're listening to this, keep camera on me because I'm gonna speak what I'm gonna say. I am talking about Liverpool's competition that they're in. Do you know what I'm saying? Bro,
yeah, but you said you
listen to me. I have no hope.
I'm tell you this right now. I don't hope Liverpool.
Abbas, let me land. I know where you're coming at. Listen, I'm saying I'm talking about Liverpool. The remaining competition that Liverpool are in regarding their season right now is the Europa League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? They're cool. I'm just saying that for Klopp's sake, that he can win one of those trophies. So
Why?
Because for me, first of all,
we still sound bad, bro.
First of all, I'm a big fan of Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
Listen, bro, I love Pep Guardiola. Bro, I love Guardiola. I still don't want him.
I bet you want him to win the Premier League.
I still don't want him to
win the Premier League. What do you want him to win the Premier League?
What?
What do you want him to win the Premier League? What do you want him to go another season
and
make a 4-0
Premier League?
I rather let Pep
Chelsea are not winning the Premier League this season.
That's fine. So they can win that. I've got no problem with that. But I would never sit here and say I want I'd like Klopp or Pep to win the FA Cup and the League Cup over.
That's what I'm saying. Richard, can you get involved now? I'm also getting involved now because I'm saying not over the expense of Chelsea. Not over the expense of Chelsea.
You go back on yourself.
People winning at the expense of Chelsea. That's just blasphemy.
You were never saying that.
I said I wouldn't mind if Klopp will go to another trophy because the Carabao Cup, the Europa League, or the FA Cup. Obviously not over the expense of Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm going to be realistic here. Liverpool are probably going to win at least, for me, they're better position for the double than Chelsea. They're the better position for the double. So obviously they win the double. Fair enough. I'm just speaking a logical reality.
You can't say that. And I'll tell you why.
What's probably going to happen.
No.
So why are you making out that I'm saying Liverpool should be winning these things? I want them to win over Chelsea.
You can't say that. You can't say Liverpool are better logically than Chelsea because in the last 5 or 6 times Liverpool or Chelsea have played, the only way Liverpool have beaten us is penalties. The rest of the time...
No, but obviously that's when you face Instagram. I'm saying there's other ways that Liverpool can win trophies like me and Chelsea. I'm saying. And in terms of the team, the managers winning football, they're better than Chelsea. Obviously, when we've encountered them, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we've done well. We've drawn it in the last Premier League meetings. You know what I'm saying?
Pull him out.
In the cup games, we've drawn the regulation and he's gone to penalties. But I'm just talking about the overall squad and probability of who to go further in the cup competition. It's Liverpool.
Do you think your issue is in the situation? You're speaking to Kojo like he's a Chelsea fan. We've got to remember he's not one of us. So everything he thinks is not one of us.
You keep making these statements. You keep making these statements. You are espousing nonsense. You are espousing nonsense on the digital airwaves. You are espousing nonsense on the digital airwaves.
You're not welcome back in the fan base. I'm sorry, because like no Chelsea fan is there's
Richard.
When was
the last time you visited SW6 Stamford Bridge?
When was the last season?
Kojo, when did you take a plane to Milan?
Bro.
Why?
You see these sort of questions? Why ask me sort of questions?
One person and then not have it put back on you. It's probably cheap.
Why ask me sort of questions? When did you go? Wait, let me spin it. When did you go to what team did he support again? In the NFL. When did you go to New Orleans?
Hey, brother,
when did you book a ticket to Louisiana?
It's irrelevant.
I'm answering you.
Don't say it's not relevant, Richard. I'm
answering.
When did you book a ticket to Louisiana?
I'm answering for you right here, right now.
You didn't book a ticket.
No problem. I drove down to London when they played against the Minnesota Vikings 2 years ago, paid £200, got my ticket, watched the game, drove back home. I spent about £300-400 on that exact Sunday. When was the last time you did that?
You answered my question. You didn't go to Louisiana.
You asked me. It doesn't live in America.
When
did I watch New Orleans Saints? So I told you when I did.
No, I said when did you last go to Louisiana to watch New Orleans Saints? You didn't hear me properly. So again, everyone knows on YouTube and on the digital airways.
Okay, hold on. Spotify, when last did you watch Chelsea?
Did not answer my question.
When was the last time you watched Chelsea? You live in London.
The last time I Chelsea, I'll be honest with you. The last time I Chelsea was November 2021.
We're in 2024.
We're in 2024, bro.
November 2021. It's over 2 years. It's just over 2 years. It's over 2 years. That's when Chelsea became shit.
More Chelsea than me.
That's when Chelsea became the team that repulsed me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what Chelsea are supposed to be.
You're right,
when I
Do
get
you
off
know
this,
that
when I
period?
get off
So
this
obviously,
pod, yeah,
my reason not to attend and spend money on Chelsea is valid. It's valid.
but you're not one of us, and that's fine. So moving on, I can't like when I
You
told
may say that, according
Moving
to you, but
No,
I've
man,
been a Blue since 2006, 7.
we don't believe your story.
it's all right. It's
So
no problem.
yeah,
Abbas,
yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't to be alone, man. Until you go, you
So
can't talk on me, bro.
obviously, so obviously, given Klopp is now leaving, well, how do you think this shapes Liverpool's immediate future? Because you can really see Van Dijk coming out talking about how he's unsure about his future because he's now not skeptical, but he's interested to see the direction of which the club goes in. And as I said, like with Klopp, where he has been able to take Liverpool and bring them here, and obviously I do agree with you, Abbas, that he has spent some money, but I mean United have spent a lot of money as well. And look at where they are. Chelsea has spent a lot of money, so it's not easy as just spending money. So do you think Liverpool are in the position in terms of the higher ups to bring someone in that can help them continue to sustain success? Or do you feel like because such a high respected manager is leaving and given the comments Van Dijk has said, some will start looking elsewhere to continue their careers?
Do you know what? This is what I'll say. I've always said this for a while. Klopp and Pep in this era are anomalies, but this long-serving manager type of stuff basically died for a while. Like I said, Klopp and Thingy were anomalies where they were never going to get sacked. They were going to leave themselves. In terms of replacement, it's basically impossible to do in terms of that consistency. In terms of the players as well, yeah, you might well get a makeover in terms of the ones that are going to leave or say they want to leave, because I think Salah's got 18 months on his contract type of thing.
Yeah.
That's similar. So these guys are up for renewal. And if they don't renew, then I don't think Liverpool are in a position where they want to let them go for free type of thing, or even in January. So I think, again, it all depends on the recruitment type of thing. If Alonso comes in charge, the team might see the work he's done at Leverkusen, especially if he goes and wins the Bundesliga, and see what they want to do. Again, Liverpool legend, etc. type of thing. But realistically, of course, it's going to be impossible to replicate or get close to what Klopp was able to do in terms of the consistency level. And I don't think that era of long-term manager will be there. In terms of the players, I expect a few to probably leave.
I agree with Bass, man. I agree with Bass. I
fear for the Liverpool future.
What you say?
Because I think, like, I kind of agree with, like, in terms of, I kind of fear for Liverpool's future because I think sometimes it goes back to the ownership and things like that. And I feel like with Klopp, they kind of struck gold. Now, if it was a Man City situation, whereas although like Pep has been the one that's been most successful with them, they won the Premier Leagues and stuff with Mancini, they won it with Pellegrini, and then they've got Pep Guardiola. With the United situation, I think once Fergie left, you saw how the structure started to crumble. And if I was to look at what Liverpool were doing before Klopp under this ownership, there isn't anything that I've seen that has shown me that these guys are the right, and especially with like American owners, like this is why I didn't even want to bother at Chelsea. Not that I'm out on them or anything, but there's just something with Americans and them being bad at football business or in terms of from
the Americans see the playoffs, bro. They don't see it. They see
They
don't see leagues anymore. They see playoffs. For them, it's like, oh, we win a cup, we good.
Yeah, like they just care about the business side of it. So if I was to judge looking at them before Klopp, I don't know. But then it could be a thing they've learned a lot from the Klopp situation and they're able to progress and get the right guy in and still be able to put funding behind the club. And not just, as I said, stupid funding in the right places. So it'll be interesting to see. But as I said, I do think they struck gold with Klopp and it's very hard to replicate that again. So I do fear for the future.
No, I do agree with that. Like you said, before Klopp came in, Liverpool were under FSG, John Henry. They still have the same ownership, and they've kind of struggled financially. You know what I'm saying, over the last 15 years, man. Like it's always been a big struggle for them to kind of spend a lot of money and bring in, the big marquee players into their club. And obviously, the only real saving grace for Liverpool really has been Jurgen Klopp and how great of a coach he's been. And obviously, because of Jurgen Klopp's influence and because of his demands to kind of build a good team which can compete on all fronts. Obviously, the owners have kind of, scavenge, as much as they can out of the bank and, give him Klopp the best they could. You know what I'm saying? And obviously now that, he's going to be leaving, obviously there's a bit of doubts of, from Van Dijk and whatnot. And obviously you got to look at and take the big picture here now. Liverpool have a big, very task to kind of see who they're going to kind of appoint now. Obviously, there's been talk of Xabi Alonso, and if he does come, I think on paper it would look nice, but obviously, not to kind of discredit what he's done this season, but like, you can't take the Bundesliga. Obviously, doing a good job. They're scoring a lot of goals. They do won Europa League as well. So, big up to what he's doing at, Bayern Leverkusen. But you can't say that, for me, there's going to be a guaranteed level of success, or he's going to kind of replicate the achievements that Klopp has done at Liverpool. Because for me personally, the Bundesliga is a very weak league. Like for me, I'll say it's probably the second worst. Yeah, second worst in the top 5 personally, in my opinion. So what obviously
look at it.
What you say?
I don't think that's a good way to look at it because
no. But here I'm saying, obviously, yeah, you could say Klopp did well and whatnot. Fair enough, I hear that. But what I'm saying is that I think a lot of fans are saying that Xabi Alonso is the perfect answer. This guy is the truth. This guy is going to make Liverpool probably even better than what Klopp's doing right now. And obviously, I see the optimism, and I do think Xabi Alonso is doing a good job. But I'm just saying that let's be level-headed here, and let's not kind of go overboard because it is the Bundesliga, it is Bayern Leverkusen, and haven't won the league yet. So let's relax. You know what I'm saying, with all these praises right now. You know what I'm saying, I see what he's doing, I respect it, but let's not go overboard and start getting carried away. And these are Liverpool fans.
It just seems like the more logical person to come in. The only thing I'll say is,
I'm not negating. I'm saying he's an option, but I'm saying is that with him coming in, it's not going to be a situation where what I'm saying, let's he comes in. I'm saying, let's not get too carried away and say next season Liverpool, if they get Xabi Alonso, that they're going to be the same team where they're going to be competing with Man City and then they're going to be competing in the Champions League because they're going to get Champions League football this season.
As long as they retain their players, they'll still be competing in the top 4. And
But I'm saying is that it's not going to be 100%. I said, listen to the keyword. Listen to the opposite of what I'm saying. It's not going to be 100% that they're going to emulate what they've done this season or even go better with Xabi Alonso. I'm not saying 100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a good chance, but
that's a guarantee. You won't do that.
I'm just limiting my point. I'm limiting my point. I'm just kind of speaking on what I'm hearing from Liverpool fans. I'm trying to kind of respond to what I've heard over a couple of days on Twitter and obviously on YouTube. I'm just responding to the points. You know what I'm saying? I'm not kind of disputing what you're saying or kind of negating or trying to prove Richard wrong. I hate your points. I agree with your points, but I'm just giving my own sort of thought to it. You know what I'm saying? So wrapping up now, Liverpool for me, they'll go through a bit of a turbulent situation. Whether it will affect them in a very drastic way, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they will go through a period where they're going to have a bit of difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Especially with their financial situation with FSG. They're not in a great situation, like Richard made earlier. You know what I'm saying? That's not a plus sign for them. You know what I'm saying? If they have good owners, that was good. If they had good owners and had a good footballing philosophy behind Jurgen Klopp, then you know what? It wouldn't be of a big concern. But because they don't have that, and it's been proven the last 10, 15 years, that's why we're many fans
just quickly say, I know we've been talking, this FSG stuff.
Yeah.
Where they don't spend money. I look at it as a lot of shit. I'll be real. Yeah. Even before
they won't struggle to spend money though. They won't struggle.
Let me land. Yeah. Let's take when Kenny Dalglish was there, for example. I get it. They sold Torres to us for 50 million. They used that money and they bought Luis Suarez, Andy Carroll, and stuff like that. I think Suarez might have been before. No, Suarez was with Kenny, right? So they spent relatively about 80 to 100 million during that period as well. And back in them days, that was relatively high amount of money. So whatever the fixture was, FSG, do not get me wrong, I understand from the transition of sales, do they then spend significantly more, which is fine. Not like Chelsea don't do it. Chelsea have also sold and then they bet and go. But this notion that they don't spend or they're quite stingy with it or whatever, irrelevant. Yes, if you sell well, you then have the money or capital to go ahead and spend. But they will still spend even if they can't. So that's my only thing on FSG type of thing. I hear it. I don't fully buy it. I buy it to a certain point, but not all the way. Some people are like, this is just Klopp, magical genius. He was working on a Poundland Burnley Football Club budget type of vibe. Because it definitely wasn't that. Or just in general for Liverpool.
No, I agree, man. Fuck American owners, man. Because, like...
Todd's alright, bro. Leave Todd alone.
Oh yeah, Todd. Why is he not spending money in January?
Yeah.
We
We need
need
to
1 billion.
we need to get rid of
He's been told by
Gallagher.
his advisors he's got to calm down. He's been told by his
Yeah,
advisors
yeah.
he's got to calm down.
Get
And Richard,
Gallagher out
being a
there,
Chelsea
man.
fan, you should kind of be. Oh, you ought to be worried.
Yeah, this
About
offering is coming for 100 million in the
your
summer.
money. But if you're a Chelsea fan, yeah, you'd realize that January right now, this current market is not really the best to kind of change the real meaning of our season. You know this, Richard.
Nah, man. I want I want transfer fever. Show
Yeah,
me
bro.
the money.
You were there, bro.
Show me
And
the
you were there.
money. Show me the money. Another £1 billion.
You with tears on Caicedo. I was there. I loved it.
I need another 100 million. Another 100 million pound. Can we do that for you?
Awesome in summer.
Oh yeah. Get Gallagher out here as well, man.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
he
mind
can
it.
go,
I'm
yeah,
okay.
Gallagher.
I'm okay. I bought into Passion Merchant. I'm all right with him staying. You can get Brocha out. I'm okay with that. But I'm here for Passion Merchant. I like him. I like Gallagher. I'm okay with
He's a runner. He's a track star. Anyways,
Abbas,
obviously,
you've only been supporting Chelsea since 2016.
man, that doesn't work on a bass, man. We know you're the fake Chelsea fan.
No,
here,
because it came to my head, bro. Abbas only been supporting Chelsea since 2016. This is what he told me. He's only been supporting Chelsea since 2016. But Abbas was into football back then. He didn't
Brother,
care
I have an Umbro kit.
F1 and NFL.
Listen. I have an Umbro kit that's size 9 to 10 when we were sponsored by them.
He got it from DHgate. He got it from DHgate. It's China size. So he ordered the wrong size. He think before me, guys. You know what I'm saying?
A Kojo for a small fee will let you back into the fan base.
Nah.
I don't need no validation. I come into the Chelsea random whenever I want to. If I wanted to, I'll buy a ticket. I'll buy a ticket to go to the FA Cup game. I walk in. People are like, oh, you're back. Yeah, you're back to Stamford Bridge. Like, yes, I'm back.
You see the Parliament Bridge.
I'm going Villa for the second leg. I'm just going to get a ticket.
You're going to Birmingham.
We're all going.
Yeah.
You're going to Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham's just down the road.
Tomorrow, but I just can't get time off work, otherwise I'd be there. I'm going City in a couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get League Cup calling tickets, whatever they charge me. If they charge me, I've got a budget for it. If I can get the budget in the price, I'll probably be there.
Okay, Abbas, you're very dedicated. I respect that still.
When are you going to Milan? That's the question.
Yep.
Why is he asking me some questions?
You can get
Why is he
tickets for
asking me some
£58.
questions?
You get tickets for £58.
No, but I don't know why he's asking me some questions. Like when I'm a good man, like what is he trying to say? What is he trying to say, Abbas?
So he's not a Chelsea fan. He's not a Milan fan. Who do you really support? Who's your local?
Richard.
Hey, I know. I just guess your locals Dutch champions, isn't it?
With me, it's
I knew that was it as well. Yeah, Ballingha's still in charge.
Huh?
Is Ballingha's still in charge of Dulwich? That's
what? Sorry.
Is Graham Ballingha's still in charge of Dulwich?
Oh, he's talking about Dulwich. His local team. Dulwich
No,
the team used to coach.
I swear, because I knew they had a manager called like Gavin Rose before like he left, but I don't know he's in charge now. Coventry was to tell us because that's who he supports. So yeah, but obviously moving on, to our final topic, AFCON, because the competition is still going on, and quite surprisingly, I remember we were discussing it 2 weeks ago. We were talking about like the level of competition and the respect AFCON gets and everything along those lines, and looking at how far it's come in the last 2 weeks, I think it's been quite impressive with a lot more eyes that it's gotten, and I think the quality of football seems, even though for some reason they don't seem to be able to keep the football properly when they're shooting, but I do feel like it's growing compared to like it's catching up in compared to Copa America. Am I the only one that feels like the quality of AFCON has?
Do you know what it is?
Compared to the others, and it's getting more eyes.
I'll say this. You know, when it comes to the eyes, what helped them a lot was the fact that Sky Sports picked that up. What helps now is the fact that you can go on BBC and watch this game that's going on right now live. So it helps that first it's on a free channel, but also if you got a Sky package, it's there. But my only issue with all these tournaments just naturally is the production value ain't there. Like Sky haven't got a set of commentary players there. What they've actually just done, again, as far as my understanding is, they've ripped the stream. They pay a broadcaster for their stream, put it on their network, and that's it. There's not a studio. There's none of that type of thing.
Basically, what the NBA do.
Stuff like that.
TNT and obviously Sky Sports.
When it comes to the game, once this game ends, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right, you ain't getting no interviews. It's off, bang, straight on the net.
Yeah, you're gonna head to Sky Sports.
You know what I'm getting this. And I think, but I understand why that is. As much as it's a pain in the ass for me to say, it's because again, like the money's not invested in it, the attention's not fully there. Like, you're not subscribing, unfortunately, for AFCON when you buy a Sky package. Copa America is still my little tournament in it because I stay up at night. So I'll always find a stream to watch Copa America. But even that's also dropped. I remember the last Copa was there. Bro, they had the university student guy doing the commentary for BBC Sport. It sounded like that one-man booth type of thing. So both like tournaments don't get the love they probably are meant to get to. But again, I don't think the audience is there properly. Like,
yeah, I agree. Like, let's be very real. Like, you make a good point, Richard. I do feel like there's been a lot more talk, a lot more buzz around AFCON. I want to say maybe the quality of football has improved all around from like most teams in a way. Obviously, you know, we've seen some shock results and shock teams such as Gambia. They've done relatively quite well. Equatorial Guinea, you know, Cape Verde have also surprised. So we're seeing like these small nations that a lot of people maybe haven't really kind of looked in too well, really kind of thought they're going to go far. And they're surprised. So that's caught a bit of buzz and a lot of people talking about them nations. Obviously, we've had big moments as well. Ghana, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, with AFCON, there's always chaos. Please, don't talk until you win an AFCON, bro. Because, like, I don't want to hear all this chat. So I'm saying.
We've won one more recently than you have.
How you say?
We've won the AFCON more recently than you have.
Okay. But we still want more. We still want more. We still want more.
The ones that you won before you were alive.
That is so funny. Go to the archives. Go to the archives.
You didn't watch them live. You were searching over for YouTube and Wikipedia.
All right. As I said before your rudeness came in. Yeah, as I said before. So obviously, with AFCON, there's always chaos. There's always drama. And because obviously, like Abbas said, made a very good point. Because it's on a big broadcaster in the UK, Sky Sports. It's on also BBC, a big broadcaster as well, which for free. It's not easily visible. It's very conspicuous now. It's very noticeable. Do you know what I'm saying? For people to kind of, see what's going on. Before, Richard, obviously we are West Africans. Growing up, we're similar age. Do you know what I'm saying? Growing up, when we watched AFCON, 2006, 2008, 2010, 12, 15, really. Those years, really. It was mainly on Eurosport. And there was a subscription package. You have to pay on Sky. And it was only Africans when you caring for it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to school, you got your communist people talking.
I probably had more interest for it.
No, but I'm saying mainly, okay, we get it. You love Africa and that, but I'm saying...
No. Didier, the king. King Didier. You got to remember Didier. I was a Chelsea fan, Kojo. I watched it for Didier, Michael Essien, John Mikel Obi. I was there for that.
That's good.
So
that's good. If that's how you want to validate your Chelsea fanship, then that's great. That's great, Abbas. I love it. But we all know you became Chelsea by 2016. Anyways, so obviously... Oh my God. Oh, yeah. As I was saying, yeah, like back then growing up when we watched AFCON, it was mainly Africans caring for it. That's changed now. We've seen a lot of people kind of getting hooked onto it and actually watching it and taking an interest. But what's helped that, like I said, it's on big broadcasters. Before it was on your Eurosport, and that's a subscription package. You know what I'm saying? And not much people really care to watch on Eurosport. It was very hard. Like Eurosport obviously is big, but you have to really search for it. It's like it's not a Sky Sport. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even compared now. It's not even the TNT. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously, I think the broadcasting stuff helped get people kind of watching it more, kind of paying attention to it more. And obviously, AFCON's always chaos as well. Like it's just dramatic. You're seeing, goalkeepers coming out and kicking players on the field. Do you know what I'm saying? Coming to kind of catch the ball and they're making mistakes. You're seeing red cards. You're seeing all these heroics when team is scoring late. You're seeing the passion there. You're seeing all these very eccentric celebrations. You see Mabalulu, what he did the other day. This is all part of the culture. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think AFCON obviously this year, I think it's been good so far. Obviously, a bit guided on my end, so Ghana and whatnot. But to be honest with you, I had no expectations for us. I'm not that distraught about it. But I think it's been a good AFCON. I think the football has been relatively good. I want to say for me, it's on a level where I probably want to say it's on a level of Copa America personally, but I say the football has been relatively decent.
Copa America.
Copa America is kind of shit as well. I'll be real, like, I don't really get excited for it at all, personally. But in terms of the flair and the skill, I wouldn't say it's on the same level technically as Copa America. But
I would.
For me, I think AFCON, I will say this all, and this is unbiased. AFCON does provide better value for entertainment than Copa America. I feel like if you're watching AFCON, you're gonna find a bit more interest. You're gonna find more entertainment. Your eyes are gonna be more glued onto the product compared to Copa America. Personally,
No, that makes sense. So obviously, before we wrap up, just quickly, I will say, do you guys have a favorite for the competition or?
Obviously, Nigeria are doing very, very well, and it pains to say that. I think Nigeria got a very good route to the final. I think they'll beat Angola, unfortunately. Hopefully, that doesn't be the case. I think Senegal, if they can get through Côte d'Ivoire, it's 150 rate right now. It looks like it could be good penalties. I still think Senegal are the favourites to win this competition. They're probably going to go back to back. But I think Morocco have an outside chance as well. I think I believe in Morocco. I believe in my Maghreb brothers. You know what I mean? I know a lot of Moroccans. You know what I mean? I know a lot of them. So I'm hoping that my Moroccan brothers can have some glory. I'm support Morocco. You know what I'm saying? Maghreb region. So I think Morocco, Senegal, the teams you go watch out for. Nigeria, obviously, you know, the social debut. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously, I hear you. I think, obviously, they're still playing now, so and they could go to penalties. But I think Senegal and Morocco are probably my top two coming into the competition, especially what Morocco.
I like, honestly, I like not being biased with you. I appreciate that.
Obviously, as I said, Nigeria, they have a shout in there as well. I think Lukman, Iwobi, Osimhen, I think what those guys are doing as well. Obviously, our keeper went down, so and now we've got the clown back in goal. So we'll be trying to see what happens with that and if our whole defense collapses because of that. But yeah, hold on, Abbas, do you have any favourites or in the competition?
Yeah, I said from the start, I thought Morocco was that team that's built out to it. But yeah, I think Nigeria is probably the one that you look at and you're like, as much as it had the stars, like as far as when I heard people speak about Nigeria, it was like they'll mess it up somehow. Like they don't even have the proper formation. It's that, and the fact that they're in the quarterfinals now.
Yeah.
I mean,
semis bound. Semis bound.
They've got a shot. I wouldn't put it past them just somehow.
What did you say, Richard? Which one did you say?
I saw was semis bound.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I wouldn't fair enough. Honestly, if you, and it comes back to you probably have the best one player in terms of right now, in terms of being Osimhen there, in terms of the workhorse and stuff like that, what he's able to do. I'm not saying necessarily he's not been a goal machine, but in terms of just
that the effort
he's there.
That he's been putting in. So yeah, I mean, but as I said, it's good. I said like we had the chance to compete for semis. Like some countries have won an AFCON game since 2019, but that's a conversation for a different day. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in for another episode of the podcast. You've been with Richard, Abbas, and Kojo once again. And make sure you follow us on all social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And we'll be back next week, maybe, because I'm out of here. So to get me the BBL Bandits. So, I mean, if Abbas and Kojo decide to continue.
Nigeria get knocked out. I'm going to come to you in the group chat, bro.
I will not be here if they do. So, as I said, thank you for tuning in to another one. And until next time, safe.